Good afternoon, 5th hour. Hope you had a good weekend. Today we are starting our last little mini unit, which is on statistics. Today should be pretty easy. I'm quite positive almost all of us have heard of the words mean, median, and mode. So it should be a bit of a review. We might do some things that you haven't done before just because it is Algebra 1. But for the most part, this should not be a very difficult day. You have some vocab at the start of your notes. So measures of central tendency, what does that mean? Well, those are just a value that describes the center or middle of a data set. So our words mean, median, and mode, those are all different central tendencies. They describe the center or middle of a data set. The mean is the average of the values. So if you remember, you're going to add them all up, add up all the numbers, then divide by how many there are. How many? So add them up, and then if there was 5 numbers total, then divide by 5. And the median is the one that the value that's made right smack dab in the middle. So you put all your numbers in order from biggest or smallest to biggest, and then whatever one falls in the middle, that's your median. Your mode is which one occurs the most. This could be one value, it could be nothing, like if there's nothing that's repeated, or it could be multiple if they have repeated the same amount of times. And then the range of your data set is the difference between the biggest number and your smallest one. So if my biggest number was 90 and my smallest number was 15, my range would be 75. So my biggest number and I subtracted my smallest. Okay, let's try some of these. It says find the mean, median, and mode, and the range of each data set, round to the nearest tenth when necessary. So it says the daily high temperatures for the past 2 weeks in Orlando are given. So we have this whole list of temperatures, right? But what will make our life a lot easier is if we put them from smallest to biggest. So I'm going to go through and find out which number is my smallest. And I'm looking like, it looks like 82. That is my smallest number. So I'm going to start with 82. And for me, I like to cross them off when I go so I know I've used them. And then I'm looking and I'm pretty sure 86 would be my next one. And there's another 86 right there. Now we look, is there an 87? Yep, 87's right there. And now I think of a bunch of 88s. There's 1, 2, 3, just 3. Okay, now we'll go for 89. There's an 89. There's another one. And there's a 90. Another 90. Another 90. Then we have a 92. I lied, a 91, and then we end with a 92. All right, so now we have our whole list down. This will make our life a lot easier. So our mean, if you want to find that first one, our mean, we have to add up all these numbers. So take a second with your calculator and add up 82 plus 86 plus 86 plus 87, 88, and so on. Once you do that, hopefully you should get approximately 1,236, and we're going to divide that by however many there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Divide this guy by 14, and we find that our mean is 88.28. This is round to the nearest tenth, so that's 1 decimal spot, so 88.3. That is our mean. Our median, remember that's in the middle, so we're going to start from the edge of each side and go till I get to the middle. So I kind of like to cross them off. We'll do the median after the mode. Let's do the mode first, then I can cross them off. Our mode, which one happens the most? I have 2 86s, but I have 3 88s and 3 90s. So our modes would both be 88 and 90. Our range, what's our biggest number subtracted by our smallest one? Let's see here. 92 minus 82 gives us 10. Okay. Now we can do our median. Let's see here. So I'm going to start off crossing off 92, 82. Come back over here, 91, 86. Keep doing this till I get to the middle. So really, it falls between these two values right here. So what's between 88 and 89? Well, 88.5 is. Whew, those are a lot of work. They're not hard, it just takes kind of a long time, right? So we're doing another one. It says the amount of money in Dave's checking account for the first week of June. So we're going to start off by putting our values in order from smallest to biggest. So I look and I see 244 is my smallest. My next is 378, then 520, 575, 618, 702, 794. Okay, our mean, remember we're going to add them up and divide by how many there are. We add up all 7 of those numbers, we should get 3,831 divided by 7. We get approximately 547.3. So that's our mean, 547.3. Okay, let's jump to our mode. Does any value occur more than once? If I look at my data, I don't have any repeats, so we're going to put none. There's no mode. Then our range, our biggest minus our smallest, so 794 subtracted by 244, we get 550. And then our last one, the median, we go from outside to inside, 1 for 1. What am I left with? 575. That was easy. So hopefully this part has been a review that you found the mean, median, and mode before. Now our next one's a little different. It says Trayvon has 4 grades in science class so far, 97, 78, 89, and 94. If he has a test coming up, what grade would he need so his overall average is at least a 90? So remember, average is really like finding the mean. So let's pretend like we're finding the mean. So I'm going to have 97 plus 78 plus 89 plus 94. And I don't know what he's going to get on that next test, so I'm going to call it X. All over, well, how many things do I have? Well, I have 5, so I'm dividing by 5, and I want it to equal 90. And now we just have a normal algebraic problem. How do I get rid of divide by 5? We're going to multiply both sides by 5. So now these 5s on the left will cancel. And then I'll have my top is equal to 450. And now we just solve like normal. I add these guys up. I'm going to get 358 plus x equals 450. And then to get x by itself, I'm going to subtract 358 from both sides. I'm left with x equals 92. So he needs to get at least a 92% or higher to maintain a 90 average. This works. You can do this for your own test and you might figure out how to do the same for you if you were looking for what you needed to get. Okay, our next one says Melanie ran the 400-meter dash 6 times during track practice. Her times are shown in the table to the left. If she drops her slowest time, which measure of the center is affected the most? Mean, median. Explain. So first we have to figure out what is her mean and median before we even take out her slowest time. So let's first quick find her mean of this data set. So take a moment, add all of her times up. And we should find that that should be approximately 389.4. How many are there? 6, so divide by 6. So her mean is 64.9. Now let's check out her median. So what is her middle value across these? So it's between these two values here. Oh, just kidding, guys. They're not in order. Put them in order quick. Reverse, reverse. I'll do that down here. 63.5. 6. 64.3. 64.7. 65.4. 67.9. Alright. Now that they're in order from smallest to biggest, we can figure out what our median is. So it's between these two right here. So what number is between 64.3 and 64.7? Well, it's 64.5. Okay, so that's when we just leave her data as normal. But if we get rid of her slowest time, how does that change things? So if I look here, what's her slowest time in her little chart? Her slowest time is a 67.9. So let's cross this guy off. And now let's recalculate her mean. So if I go through now and add these 5 numbers up, I'm going to get 321.5 divided by 5. We find that her mean now is 64.3. Now let's figure out what her new median would be. We eliminate this number right here and go through and cross off. This one crosses this one. That's her new median, 64.3. So if I look at our two little sets of values here, which one's affected the most? Well, her mean went from a 64.9 to a 64.3, so that dropped. And then we look at our median, 64.5 to a 64.3, so which one had the biggest change? Her mean did. Her mean was affected the most. Guys are doing awesome. This next part goes much faster. Okay? So now we need to talk about what an outlier is, and that's when a data value that is much smaller or larger than the other value. So it's just kind of like the oddball out. If you have a bunch of numbers that are in the 30s, and then there's a random like 74 in your data set, that would be an outlier. If you do have a bunch of outliers, we have some kind of tips to decide which one of our centers of mean would be the best way to describe that data set. So, if you were given no outliers, all of your numbers are super close together, the best center of measure would be your mean. It would be the most accurate to represent all of those numbers. You would use a median when there are outliers, because those outliers throw off the average, or when there's in the middle of the data contains no gaps. I should say data contains no big gaps. And then you would use the mode when there's values that are repeated a lot. So mainly what you should just think of is, if there's no outliers, use the mean. If there is outliers, use the median. And if we have repeats, the mode is your go-to. This will make sense when we try it together. To determine which measure of center best represents the data, justify your selection and find the measure of the center. So it says the number of wins by a hockey team in the last 8 years. So it helps if you put all of your numbers from order from smallest to biggest so we can see what's kind of happening. So if we look, 26 is our smallest number, so we'll start with 26. And then it goes to 38, 45, 48, 49, 52, 54, 56. So now I'm looking, are there any outliers? I'm kind of thinking, yeah, there kind of is. Like 26 is 12 less than 38, and all these other ones are within a couple or 2 or 3 than each other, so I'm going to say yes, 26 is an outlier. I noticed none of my numbers are repeated, so it's definitely not the mode. So we would say that the median would be our best bet because of outliers. What outliers? 26. So now we go through, what is our median? So that's where we go from our middle value. So I'm going to cross them off. 26 goes with 56, 38, 44, 45. So what value is between 48 and 49? 48.5. So 48.5 is the best number that represents this data. Let's try the next one. The number of minutes that Ariana spent exercising each day for the past week. So again, let's put these in order from smallest to biggest. We notice that 32 is our smallest. Then we go to 35, 36, 38, 40, 42, 45. So now I'm looking, are there any outliers? Actually, no, our data is pretty close together in terms of our numbers. There's no repeat, so then our best option here would be our median. No repeats or outliers. So now let's quickly find our median. Or our mean, excuse me. So if I add all these up, we should find that we get 268 divided by 7. There's 7 of them. 38.3 would be our mean. And I feel like that's pretty accurate. That would fall right about here. And that's about the middle of our data. Okay, our last one. The scores on a math quiz. Oh boy. Here we go. Let's put them in order from smallest to biggest. So if I look, I notice that 50 is our smallest value here, so I have 2 of those. 60, 70, 70, 80, oh, what do we have? 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of those, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90, 90, 300s. So this one should be kind of a no-brainer. Mean, we have a bunch of, well, all of our data is pretty just spread out, so the mean wouldn't be super great. Our median, we don't really have any outliers, but we have a bunch of repeats for this one. So this is where our mode would be the best, is we have a ton of repeats. What's repeated the most? Look at all these 80s, guys. I think we said there was 9 of them. So our mode is the best, and it would be 80. Sorry, this is kind of boring. You guys did great. Please be good to Miss Dida. She's a nice lady. She'll probably be one of your teachers next year. So start off on a good note with her. Have a great rest of your Monday, and I will see you tomorrow.